In this video, we're going to be checking out the most expensive movie in the world. And I'm going to be showing you the difference between this and a $165 million movie, a $55 million movie, a $10 million movie, and all the way down to a $1 movie. Starting with the $1 movie, this happens to be a movie I made, and it is The Masked Man. I made many years ago with my friends, and it cost $1, which is the candy that I got from Wegmans. This is a $250,000 movie, His Only Son. Now, this movie just recently came out to the theater. It did have $1 million in prints and advertising that was crowdfunding, but that's not the budget of the movie. For them to make a movie to go to the theater at $250K is a amazing thing. Like, I don't think that's ever been done. That is so cheap. I think that's really efficient and good to be. Some of these movies are way too expensive for absolutely no reason. Wasteful with so many different stuff. To see a movie come out and it be a very good budget, and it did well at the box office. It did like 11 million at the box office, which is amazing for the budget, is great. I'd love to support more movies like that. Next up, we have a $17 million movie, which is Smile.
What is it you like to talk about?
My patient. Hi.
That recently came out in 2022. Now, this did really good in the box office for its budget, and this was a really scary movie. Scary movies in general tend to be on the cheaper side, the more cost-effective side for movies, and they do very well in theater because they're kind of, they're fun horror movies. So they take place in like a house, but Smile was really creative. It was out and about here and there, had a different story, but it was also very scary as well. It wasn't the classic we're family, move into a house, it's haunted, we just moved in, it's bad, we can't leave. Like, this is a good different story, and I felt it was fresh. Next up, we have our $55 million movie, which is Strays, that is currently in the theater right now, and I think it's pretty cool. Not too bad of a budget for the cast that's in this movie. To have all these, it's a great cast. Interesting to have dogs and stuff like that, and like it's like one of those animal stories. It reminds me of Bolt, actually. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have a $165 million movie, which is Dune. Now, this movie I didn't like. I thought it was boring. I didn't like the story. I didn't like the color. It looks too bland. I get it's out in the dunes, but it looked too bland, okay? And I didn't like the story. I actually didn't even see the whole thing. I seen 10 minutes of it. Checked out. Now, this is the most expensive movie ever made, which is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. This movie cost $447 million to make. How they spent all this money for this movie, who knows? But I thought it was pretty cool. And there's so many memes. There's so many memes now about Star Wars in The Force Awakens with that one scene. Yeah. But I thought it was a cool movie. I enjoyed it. They told a good story. It paid respects to the original. It did great at the box office. It did like $2 billion in the box office. It was good. They didn't let that, not be a good story. Let's check out some of the trailer of it. When this movie first came out, I was so pumped. I was like, wow, we're getting a Star Wars movie that looks good. Like, they really put effort in the story. And this movie was great. I enjoyed the heck out of it when it came out. These days there's so many movies that are not doing their part. They're not telling a good story. like at all. I just recently seen Transformers, the new one, Rise of the Beast. It was terrible. I did not like it. And Transformers are my favorite movie. It's one of my favorite movies. And the last one, I get it's a reboot and everything, but it was terrible. I'll say that one was worse than Transformers 5. That's how bad I thought it was. There was no story. But besides all that, The Force Awakens was great. My name's Shamar Bevel. I'll see you in the next video.